Starting off with some sneaky shaders. What's going on, everybody? Look at this thing we built. Of course, this is the final product of the dragon. I thought we'd start off this episode, give you a perspective from a good angle, and at least see the story of how this dragon has come to be, and how probably one of my most difficult projects. Oh, look at those sneaky shaders doing some crazy things. How one of my craziest projects that I've done has come into being. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Of course, we've got a crazy build ahead of us. So how about we get started with a little bit about our dragon. And so the story begins, guys. This is the very, very crude skull of the dragon. And I know you've probably seen a lot more of what this dragon's going to be. I've planned this episode out, of course. And let's get started with how we are going to get there. First of all, incredibly crude skull. Let's go have a look at it from a far distance. So this project, by the way, has been a fantastically awesome project in terms of learning. We have learned a lot. In fact, this is not a good... What we have just learned right now is that is not a good angle for us to look at this dragon. Let's go down right around here. There we go. So it's got this very wide, well, not very wide mouth, but a wide mouth that could be shooting a fireball. That's my idea. If we can get a fireball to work, or a ice ball, realistically, that is what's going to be coming over there towards that dragon. Nice little story. Nice little fight. This isn't going to stay a stick dragon. It will eventually be a real dragon. But that's a pretty cool little thing to add in there. So what I want to do is I want to start adding onto this. This is kind of the way I like to do my builds. I like to start with a basic thing, dress them up a little bit, dress them up a little bit more, and bam, you've got yourself a full-blown, monstrously monster build. And that's what we're going to do. So what I was thinking with this dragon right now, you can see, I'm sure you kind of get the idea. It's got a little bit of a mouth like that. It's got that's not even meant to be an eye, but like the shape of the skull like that. And I thought the skull looks very, very derpy. And I think we can all agree with that. That's a very derpy skull. So the idea of that I had was to put a few horns on this dragon. Kind of, I don't know what to liken it to. Probably my idea is probably more like a mountain goat kind of thing. Or a goat, maybe not a mountain goat, but like a ram, I guess would be the idea of it. And where was my reference point? That fake eye that I was looking at. I think that's the fake eye that I was looking at. I'm pretty sure that was the fake eye that I was looking at. I was kind of thinking of something maybe like a little bit like this sort of a thing where we go up here. Oh, can I get up there, please? Something. Oh, no, like. Nah. Maybe I want them to kind of go along the shape of the skull as if this dragon used them for maybe like fighting or asserting its territory or something like that. Just to make a little bit more of a thought behind why we are doing these. Can I do that maybe? And there, up here. Of course, these are all just planning things. So let's have a look at this. And this is the way I literally have done this whole thing. Just have a platform out, go back, come back, go back, come back. Yes, that's not going to work. We're going to have to work this out a little bit more. In fact, you know what I'll do is I'll quickly go sleep away this night. We can't see anything right now. I'll get some ice because that's probably what's going to be the block we are using. And then we'll see how it looks. So we were on the right track, but not really. Here's what I came up with the ice itself. I think that makes a very big difference. When I can actually stop on it like that. Look at that. Definitely a much better look there overall. From this angle, it kind of looks a little bit funny. You got to boost yourself up a few times, and then you can see it, and I think that can work. However, they do look a bit fuzzy, so what I want to start doing right now, because as I say, we got to dress this thing up. We've got a few pieces that work currently. We've got a few pieces that we can build off, being the skull, and we may as well make the pieces that work currently really work completely, and that's where this clay comes in. You might be saying, what the heck am I doing with this clay? So the reason I'm using this clay, and it was actually from a few suggestions, and I thought they were pretty good suggestions, to be honest, were in the last episode that we dealt with this dragon, at least. I asked what kind of a suggestion you guys would have if you think the dragon looks like a dragon, what you think it needs, and the suggestions, I think if I put this over here, by the way, it looks cool. The suggestions all pretty much said a few different things, which is a very cool thing. In fact, if I see a lot of the same suggestion, I know for a fact that I must have just been blind to whatever it was looking at. And one was get a lot of white into the dragon, because look at the dragon, there's no white at all. And I haven't even tried this, but my idea with putting white in this dragon, like a wool or a quartz or something like that, or snow, would be a little bit too white for it. So I thought something would comparatively look white, kind of like that there, is probably a good idea. So I thought that would be a great idea to add in, and we're going to add in some clay, and I think that works quite well. In fact, that actually looks quite cool over there. Let's go check it out. And this is pretty much my idea, because I thought the horns of the dragon might have some more white in them than the rest of the parts of the dragon, so it'll be a great way to plan it out. Yeah. Don't worry about it being a little bit lost. It will be lost for some time, but we will find it, and it will definitely come together. I can only assume if this video has come out already. You know, that's the kind of funny thing about doing what I did, changing it up a little bit, starting with a different intro. Is of course it's a necessity that we did finish this dragon. So hopefully that is the case. Let's get this into here now. I wanted to get an eye, and I was thinking a good place for the eye would be this rough area. I didn't want this piece here, so I was thinking if I got rid of that, maybe put in like a little bit of a blue eye, that could look cool. So let's stop here and check that. Oh, that's the wing. There we go. Yep, I'm actually happy with that. I'm happy with that space there. So what I want to do next, and this is going to be a very kind of quick process of just, well, quick for you guys, not quick for me. I'm going to be slapping on little details, trying to work out how I can get this to look like it's got teeth. Very important aspect to a dragon. These dragons can't have any like kind of toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. We can't have a dragon without teeth. I mean, these teeth can't retract out. We just pretend that they do. It actually needs to have teeth, which is going to be a fairly interesting one. The other thing will be getting just a bit more detail on the outside, because it's lacking that right there. And then we've got some really cool things, because this dragon's going to be very different. I'm sure you can tell. That is not a happy dragon, but I think it's looking pretty good though. Look at that. You see the inside of this mouth? I decided to give a little bit of a staggered kind of tongue going sort of to teeth, because as I said, we need some teeth in this guy. It's not quite a perfect smile, but let me tell you this, it's definitely better than what was looking like a few minutes ago. Overall, I think it's working. I think it's slowly starting to get there. Bear in mind, this is survival Minecraft. This is a limited amount of space we have to build this dragon, and I think we're doing a pretty cool looking dragon here for the size that we've elected to go for. Man, it's actually taken so much just to get that, but it's looking so good. It's very rewarding. Actually, what I'm thinking of doing right now is I was thinking about how do I make this over here, because I have done a bit of the neck. I can see that probably needs to be thickened out a little bit there, but over here, I really thought it's kind of lacking something, because it's all just this cyan stained clay, a little bit of a weird look. It's very plain. However, if we go out this way, let's jump out and go flying. Perfect. The cloud horse is going down. I think we may very well crown this dragon very well with the next thing I want to do. It kind of looks a bit weird here, by the way. Just bear in mind, this isn't the angle it's intended to look from, but we are doing some pretty cool things. But if we go out here, I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's not very overcomplicated, that we've got this exoskeleton look to it, even though it hasn't got an exoskeleton. If you don't know what that means, basically like a bug has a skeleton on the outside, like a beetle, for instance, has a skeleton on the outside, and that's what this rib cage and stuff is for. But this dragon hypothetically would have a proper skeleton. In fact, we kind of did build it when we built with the cyan the cyan stick dragons, like that one down there. But yeah, that's perfect. In fact, what we're going to do right now, let's let that sun go down, and we can finally make this dragon lively. I think it's kind of like, you know when you see a dragon awaken in the movies. We're going to go for something similar to that, and I think you can tell exactly what's about to happen here. Yeah, but I think it's going to look awesome. I've only got one problem with what I think might work. But my one problem is I've used ice. That's not a big problem, because we can switch that out to glass. And in fact, I'm going to be switching some of these out to glass, most likely. So let's go ahead over here. And also, by the way, the person who said use dark prismarine, you got your dark prismarine. And I know that's not what you intended in the last episode, but I put it in there, and I think it works actually pretty well over there. The other thing is, with that dark prismarine, that's a crazy thing to do. Build this whole thing out of dark prismarine. Man, it would take me so long to get all the dark prismarine, but although it probably would look pretty cool. So the thing that I'm thinking over here that will work, and I'm fairly certain this will be the case, because normally what's about to happen is something... Actually, I'm going to get rid of that one that I've just placed there, because else I'll forget it forever. This is something that is normally one of the most frustrating kind of little weird things, weird quirks about Minecraft, is when you've got a slab like this, and you put a light block behind it, and you've blocked it all off, you don't get the light coming through. But I think for this... Let's look at this. Just look at this. Oh, wait, we don't have it in. The suspense is killing me. All right. There, look at that. That is beautiful right there. I think this is going to work. The thing that I'm talking about is, you see how there's no light shining around there? If I break this, you see how it just doesn't have that same effect? Whereas here, perfect. All right, let's hope this one never gets fixed just for this thing. Let's hope that never gets fixed. So let's have a look at it from there. Oh man, that is perfect. In fact, I feel like this dragon's a nighttime kind of dragon. This scene could be, if we had to set this scene that's going on here, the night is probably the best time for that. Look at that. Wow. That is actually, I'm actually very happy with that. That is so awesome. You know when you kind of see a whole project come together, and of course, you guys have seen what it looks like in the end, but trying things out here. That is beautiful. That is really beautiful. So what I want to do now is I want to go into some of the cool things, because one of the things I said was, once I've done this dragon's head, I'm going to do a once over of the entire body from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top, or the sides in. One of the ways we're going to do, and we're just going to go through, add in some ideas, add in a lot of ideas that people have said, suggested, and I will point them out to you right now. In fact, let's take one of these original platforms that we were looking at, which haven't been quite as useful as I thought. First thing, if you can kind of see it, you know what, you probably can't see it. So give me a second, let's just sleep this away, and I'll show you exactly what the cool suggestions were. That creeper is not a good spot. No. There we go. And one more. No. There we go. You're gone. Perfect. So with this that I'm talking about, there's been some suggestions, of course, shaping, suggestions, texturing. There's been suggestions in all ways, and I'll point them out to you right now, so you know what we're looking at before we do it, so you can kind of understand the progress that we make with this. First one, the wings. The wings look a bit stubby. Yes, the wings do. I honestly was going for the fact that I've kind of compared a few ratios of dragons. Generally, the wingspan was the same length as the body, but the tail's longer now, so of course we can make the wings longer, and that will probably fit pretty well into what I'm thinking. With the tail, make it thicker. Okay. Legs, they look stumpy. I agree. They're going longer. And besides that, one thing I can point out from my point of view is maybe now from the back here, it looks like this dragon needs a little bit more, just a little bit more booty. Look at that. It's pretty dead there. So let's give it a little bit of a butt. Get it some legs. You ever wonder, I never see any scaffolding around Jansey's builds. Let me show you this. Yeah, the scaffolding there. It is nuts what this place looks like before I'm done. But I just thought I'd show you just to see how absolutely nuts it is to try and work your way out around these builds. It's insane. There you go. How's that without these scaffolding bits and pieces around? I think it's looking so magical. Actually, this angle over here, let's just go back. Oh, snap. 4 rockets. We're going to have to make these count. Rocket number 1. We're going back this way. Actually, that's a really cool little wasting rocket, but that's a cool little formation over there. But look at that. That is looking so awesome. I love this side angle. That is really cool. In fact, I think that's probably my favorite animal. Favorite angle, not animal. Although if this was a real animal, I'd be into that. I think it's a pretty cool animal. This side, pretty cool. The wings probably need a little bit at the back, but that's not actually too important right now. But just overall, this dragon is, man, it is really gone for exactly what I was looking for. Man, that is so cool. There's one task, though, that I still have to do, and this is where I need your help. Well, first of all, I need your help on 2 things. First thing, what do you think about the dragon? Tell me what you think, just in general. I want to know what it looks like from other people's perspectives, because I can only go from my perspective, of course, because it is mine. And I would like to know what it looks like outside of my eyes. Of course, I've been watching this thing the whole way through, so it's very difficult for me to tell quite what it looks like. The other thing is, what do you think would go cool on the tail? Like, what would be a cool little piece to add to the bottom of that tail? For instance, a spear-looking shape, kind of like a more of one that would clobber something over the head, maybe one with spikes coming out the side. Maybe give me a bit of a description, because I would like to put something on the end of the tail, but I just can't work out what exactly I want to do. But I think there's a lot that we can do. And another thing I would like to do is add a few lights to it as well. Maybe a few little pieces of prismarine, or sea lanterns, sorry. The other thing is, we put those sea lanterns in, and I had one little issue that might be the case, and that was the ice melting. And the only block of ice that melted, which is very weird, and I actually put it in afterwards, is this one right over here. This one right there. And the weird thing is, it looked like the dragon was crying because it kind of went off the edges, and it looked like the dragon might have been crying, like a sad little dragon. But in the end, I think this is quite an upset dragon. It's not sad, it's just upset. It's in a fight with this one. So for today, guys, let me know what you think, and of course, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.